Hey guys, it's Brianna and I'm here with another Rio video. This is the second time filming this video because I recorded the entire thing and then realized my mic wasn't on, so I have to restart because there was no audio. So I just got back from Brazil about a week ago, like 5 days, and I decided that I wanted to sit down and tell you guys a little bit about my experience. I'm gonna break it up into a couple videos, so I have at least two. This one that's gonna just be about Rio and my just general experience, and then one that'll be specifically about the Olympics. We were staying in an Airbnb in Botafogo, which is next to Sugarloaf. We had 3 rooms, 2 like bedrooms, 2 to each room, and then an office that had 2 beds in it. And then we had our living room and our kitchen, and we did all, the groceries, and then we cooked some, and mostly people just, kind of did their own thing and ate whatever. Everyone really got along. There were 6 of us, and we all just, for people who had never met each other before, who all met on Facebook, it was really great. I don't know how it worked out so perfectly. We all became friends. We all went out and did things together. It was really nice. I miss everybody. It was like having a little family for a couple of weeks. Botafogo was a really nice area. It was like a middle class kind of neighborhood. It was really close to things. It felt central without being, the middle of the Olympics action. So it was quiet, but we were close enough that we could still go to things and do things without it being a long commute. And there were lots of really good restaurants around us. Like there was this whole strip by the metro station. There were lots of restaurants there. There was this one French place, and I cannot pronounce the name because I cannot pronounce anything in French, but we went there like probably 6 or 7 times, honestly. But they had like crepes, they had all these sandwiches, they had really nice coffees, they had brunch, some good desserts. They had croissants that were stuffed with Nutella. It was really great. And then there were these kind of pastry places, little quick places, and you would like walk past a block and see like 2 or 3 of them on the street, like empanadas. And there were these sort of like stuffed bread sort of things that had like ham and cheese or spinach or something like that. And again, me and Joanna literally went there like every other day pretty much. We tried a couple of them, but specifically this one was so good. Everything tasted so fresh. I just loved going there. Pão de queijo was not what I expected. When you think of cheese bread, I really love cheese bread, so I eat a lot of cheese bread. And I was like, yes, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be cheesy bread, little cheese balls. It was kind of just like chewy. I don't know. I don't like the consistency very much. So I kept trying it, hoping to like it more, but it was eh. We also tried brigadeiro from our neighbor. She came over and she brought us all the ingredients necessary for brigadeiro. And if you don't know what brigadeiro is, it's a bit like a toffee, fudge, dulce de leche, truffle? I don't know. It's like kind of all of that mixed together. It's very good. I never had anything like it before, but it's basically sweetened condensed milk, chocolate powder like Nesquik, and butter. I mean, that's pretty much it. I really don't, I feel like I'm leaving something out, but I think that's all. And then we also added this kind of thick cream thing, which Marcella said was her secret ingredient, and it was just so good. We just poured it out on a plate and let it harden up, set up a little bit, and then we ate it warm. Oh, I want to make some right now. Another Brazilian thing is caipirinhas. It's made with cachaça, which is the like local alcohol there. It's a bit like rum. It was that, like a seltzer kind of, and then lime, sometimes mint, but I don't know if I actually had any with mint. It was a bit like a mojito, but mostly without the mint, and a bit more lime. And then sugar. Sometimes they put fruit in it, like you could get ones with pineapple or pretty much any fruit, and they put fresh fruit, like really good fruit in there. So we didn't really do a lot of touristy things. We never went to Cristo, and I didn't really go to the beach. We walked along it, but I never laid out, I never went swimming, I never did anything like that. My housemates did, most of them did, but I'm just not really a beach person. But we did go to Sugarloaf, which was really close to the house. Me and Susan, it was within walking distance. So we just walked over there. We took a little cable car, I think, up to the first mountain, and there's another cable car to the second mountain, and you go up to both, and both of them have beautiful views, and you can see the marina, and you can see, like, from one side you see the marina, one side you see the Copacabana. It's so nice. Like, the locals that we talked to, they were like, you have to go to Sugarloaf, it's the best view in Rio. And once I got there, we're like, wow, this is heaven. Like, this is gorgeous. The other touristy thing we did was going to Santa Teresa and the Lapa area, but we really didn't do much in Lapa. We went to, we accidentally passed, like, the road we needed to turn to go to Santa Teresa from the metro, and we ended up at the arches, the Lapa arches. There's a train that runs above them, but we didn't know about it, and we didn't know it was free or where it stopped, so we didn't go, but I wish that we had. It would have been so cute. We thought about going back, we just never made it. And Santa Teresa, which is where the steps are in Saint Laurent, they're so cool. We stayed there for ages just looking at all of the tiles, and it was so interesting how they collected all this stuff and put them all together, and it was so colorful and pretty. There was a guy selling coconuts, like really, really big ones, like the green ones, and they drill a hole into them and you drink out of them. Me and Joanna got one to split, and they were so big. And then there was an acai stand. It's so sweet. It's like ice cream, and they had it in little cups like that big, and you could get it with toppings on it. And the guys that we were hanging out with that day, they were like, put all these toppings on it. We had like, there was like a layer of toppings like this thick, because they had so many like sprinkles and sauces and coconut flakes and all this stuff on top of each other. It was like, you couldn't even get down to the ice cream. It was like melting up out of it. Like, and there was also this mural there of a map, and the guy who painted it, he put people's names on it for like 5 reais, and so me and Joanna, we got our names painted on it. Okay, so another thing was public transportation. And like I said, we lived really close to the metro, like a 3-minute walk to the metro station. And as volunteers, we were given a metro card that we could use, you know, to travel for free. We used the metro a lot. The metro was really nice. It was really clean. It was much cleaner than like the subway in New York, and it was never super crowded. I never really had that many problems. Once the 2 lines were on the same track and I got on the wrong line, and it was just, I had to switch trains and stuff. So that was a little bit one day, but other than that, like, it was really simple, really easy to use. There are also trains. The trains were a little more crowded, a little more dirty, and there were people who like walk up and down selling like snacks and random stuff like phone chargers and all these things on the train. They had buses too. We only took a bus one day. It was a bus. I mean, all buses are kind of buses, busy, crowded. They take a while because they stop a million times. Also, there's something called a BRT, which is a bus, but kind of a shuttle, I guess. It's a little more direct. They have special lanes, and it's like, you know, nicer. Like, the seats are more cushy. I don't know, we only took that once too, so I don't really have much experience with those. A lot of the time, I just traveled by taxi or Uber. I took Ubers more than taxis. We did take some taxis, and while we were there, the taxis went on strike because of Ubers. They were purchasing Uber, and I preferred the Ubers. Before I had gone, I'd actually never taken an Uber. They were just so much more convenient. I mean, it's also, you put the address right in there versus the taxis. You have to, you know, show it to them or communicate, which is a little more difficult if you don't speak Portuguese. Also, like I said about speaking Portuguese, I don't. So communicating, I never really had that many problems. If you're in a restaurant, you can point at something on the menu, and a lot of them have English menus or menus with pictures, or you can just kind of figure it out mostly. And I was almost always with somebody from my house, like one of my housemates, and all of them spoke Spanish, so it's, you know, they're pretty similar. The pronunciation's a little bit different, but they could communicate. I suppose that if you weren't traveling with someone who spoke Spanish or Portuguese, you might have more problems. But for me, it all worked out. I never really felt like I was confused or lost. And a couple times that I was just me, and like I was with a taxi or something, and they needed to communicate, we just used Google Translate, and they had that on their phone, and then we just were able to type. It took a while, but, you know, we communicated. Lastly, only because I know that this is like a question and a thing that comes up all the time, is how unsafe Rio is. I never had any problems. I never felt unsafe. It never felt any different than any other big city, like going to New York. It felt no less safe than New York. Maybe it was just because of the Olympics, so I can't speak for everyone, but I guess I know, you know, there were foreigners and they were everywhere, and that could have been part of it. And there were also a lot of military police kind of people out on the streets all the time. If you were in a public, like a really public place, there was usually someone there. And normally that would kind of freak me out. That would make me more scared here in America. But there it was like, oh, okay. I mean, if anything happens, like these guys with like guns the size of my entire like leg, they got it. One of my housemates, Pilar, she did have her phone stolen while she was on the beach. She was laying out, I guess, and it was next to her, and someone just picked it up or whatever. But it wasn't really a big deal. It happened. No one got held up at gunpoint or anything. And there were these two guys in separate friend groups on separate days that we were hanging out with who got their wallet stolen. But like, we're not really sure if someone really like pickpocketed them or if, you know, they hadn't been paying attention and like set it on the counter while they were paying for a drink and never picked it back up or what, because we weren't with them at the moment. We just heard, you know, oh, hey, my wallet, I don't have my wallet anymore. I just never felt unsafe at all. I loved Rio. I loved every minute of being in Brazil, and I want to go back. I want to go back for Carnival. So that's pretty much it for this video, I think. If I come up with anything else, I will try to fit it into my Olympics video. But if you're going to Rio, or if you just have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. Yeah, well, until next time, bye guys!